void in the House today that will be hard to fill.
Our country has really suffered a great loss.
He's been a trailblazer and a fighter for justice and inequality in the city of Baltimore and even in the state of Maryland.
When we're dancing with the angels, the question will be asked, in 2019, what did we do to make sure we kept our democracy intact? Did we stand on the sidelines and say nothing?
And now he is dancing with the angels. Outspoken Democrat and renowned civil rights leader Congressman Elijah Cummings has died at the age of 68.
His office says he passed away at the Gilchrist Hospice Care, which is an affiliate of Johns Hopkins Hospital, this morning due to a long-standing health illness.
He was all Baltimore. He was born and raised. His grade school counselor once told him that he spoke too slowly and he mumbled and he wouldn't amount to anything. Well, Elijah Cummings became the voice for the voiceless. He started his civil work as a lawyer, then as a delegate in the General Assembly in Annapolis. And since 1996, he has been a loud voice on Capitol Hill, representing Maryland's 7th Congressional District and as chair of the House Oversight Committee.
In 2017, Cummings underwent an aortic valve replacement at Johns Hopkins. Then this September, he had an unspecified medical procedure. His last roll call vote on Capitol Hill was more than a month ago, but his work never stopped. His wife and chair of the Maryland Democratic Party, Maya Cummings, said in a statement he worked until his last breath because he believed our democracy was his highest and best expression of our collective humanity. I loved him deeply and will miss him dearly.
Well, the reactions have been pouring in over his death from Capitol Hill to his home in West Baltimore, and that's where we start our coverage tonight. WMAR 2 News' Abby Isaacs joins us live with reaction from leaders all over the city. Abby?
A passionate leader, an advocate for young people, and a friend. These are some of the many ways people are remembering Congressman Elijah Cummings today. The impact of his life and death, some can't even put into words.
He was mainly my friend, and I won't forget that.
Holding back tears, Mayor Jack Young describes his longtime friend, Congressman Elijah Cummings.
A tireless fighter. A man who gave so much of himself, and he worked to the very last day. A job well done, Elijah. We're going to miss you.
Born and raised in West Baltimore, Cummings was elected to the Maryland House of Delegates in 1982. 14 years later, he was elected to Congress as the representative for Maryland's 7th District, and he's easily won re-election every 2 years since then. Along the way, he made an impact on so many and inspired political hopefuls like a young Brandon Scott, now city council president.
You can't grow up and be my age and not have him come to your school, deliver one of his patented inspirational speeches and spend time to talk with him.
Cummings was someone he looked up to his entire life.
To have him mentor me and reach out to me, talk to me not just about how to be a better council person or a council president, but a legislator, but how to be a better man and a better person.
Those lessons he and so many others learned from Cummings, they hold on to tightly.
One of his greatest quotes that sticks with me even today, that we have to leave this world better for children yet unborn. And that meant something to me, that we have to leave this world a better place than what we found it.
Bring Baltimore back to prominence and help us all work together, people who disagree and have disagreements, but we all want our city to do better and do that with dignity and respect. That's how we can honor Congressman Cummings.
Every single person I talked to about Congressman Cummings today brought up his passion for young people, how he wanted to make an impact on the next generation. Coming up at 6, hear about the impact some of the organizations felt that he invested his time, money, and passion into. Live in West Baltimore, Abby Isaacs, WMAR 2 News.
All right, thanks, Abby. And Cummings was heavily involved in his church. He was a member of the New Psalmist Baptist Church in Northwest Baltimore. He met the church's pastor, Bishop Walter Thomas, at a banquet in 1982. Thomas says Cummings was a parishioner and a friend. He'd been a member of the church for about 40 years.
To our members, he was the representative who spoke for them, who articulated their case, who represented them in places they could not go, and spoke to the changes they could not affect. But on Sunday morning, he was the one who sat beside them, drinking from the same well, eating from the same table, being strengthened by the same God. And they knew him as their champion, but they knew him as their fellow Christian brother.
Thomas says Cummings' faith was a part of his DNA and that every fiber of him was connected to his God.
Well, the governor called Elijah Cummings a fierce advocate for civil rights and worked to improve people's lives. And in a statement, he said he was a passionate and dedicated public servant whose countless contributions made our state and our country better.
Well, despite a war of words with the president, Donald Trump had this to say about Elijah Cummings. I got to see his firsthand strength and passion and wisdom of this highly respected political leader. His work and voice on so many fronts will be very hard, if not impossible, to replace. Now, very kind words from Trump only months after attacking Cummings in Baltimore over the summer. The president criticizing West Baltimore, calling it a disgusting rat and rodent-infested mess. Cummings repeatedly defended his hometown and even invited the president to his district to visit and speak with the folks who live there.